Hi, I'm Greg. Welcome to Affect Studio. I'm here to introduce you to my 2005 or 6, I think, Green15 amp. Not a very well-known amp, but been used on some great sounding tracks here in the studio, and has always sounded really good, and works with quite a few different sort of styles of sound as well. That was clearly clean. Let's get a little bit of dirt in there. The Green15 is the rarest amp I own for the simple reason that it's the only one that was ever made. That makes it pretty rare. My good friend Rowan built the cab and I built the amp. We've made a number of Marshall and Fender style amps by that point, and they all sounded as good as the originals. In fact, I sold Marshall and some Fenders around that period because these ones actually were sounding better. And I really wanted a lower wattage, AC30, as a long-time AC30 user, and so I thought, let's see what we can do. So it's loosely based on AC15 or 30, but not exactly the same. No, I'm not an amp building genius. The secret to building a great amp is, using boutique quality components and listening, not being afraid to make a few tweaks if you think something's lacking or there's too much of something, or whatever's needed there. And in the same way that, say, an internal combustion engine in a car, they all basically work the same sort of way. There's not a lot of difference between them. There's different qualities and workmanship, but the basic principles are the same for most of them. It's the same with amps. They basically, there's only a few ways to do circuits, and so I'm certainly not coming up with anything new. Using tried and true design instead of being used by amp manufacturers for many years. I'm not the sort of person that thinks that just because I've made it that it's automatically brilliant. Actually, probably quite the opposite. Building it yourself, or same way as recording stuff yourself, it takes the mystery out of it, so you never see it quite with quite the same awe that other people will, which is a good thing, as it pushes me to do better and try to make sure that actually it is as good as it possibly can be. I'd forgotten exactly what I did when I built this amp. I actually opened it up right before I did this video to check, and I think basically it was an AC15 output stage power amp section, and phase inverter and driver, and the top boost circuit from the AC30. The original AC15s, of course, didn't have the top boost circuit. They used an EF86 brilliant channel only. And then the initial gain stage, I've used both halves of the 12AX7, which isn't normally done, for an input stage of, like a Vox, which gives it more gain and more fatness. I think it's probably a matchless type thing. I based that on from memory. But as I say, I don't quite remember. And whatever I did clearly has worked because, it's always sounded fantastic and, always recorded so well. The master volume, though, is completely useless. Don't know what I was thinking there, but just, proves I'm definitely not an amp building genius. So, yeah, here's a driven sound. Some more drive. I'd been profiling and capturing my Supro Comet right before doing this, and had matched the reverb on that, so I left it on for these as well. So if you've got the Kemper, you get the Supro reverb. There was some miscommunication between Rowan, who built the cab, and me as far as what I was wanting. Truth be known, I suspect we didn't actually discuss it at all. Funnily enough, you don't get what you want when you actually don't talk to the designer and builder. And so Rowan, as you can probably guess, thought I was wanting a 212 cab, and I was picturing a 112 combo that was going to be slightly wider than the chassis, but be lighter and easier to carry around than my AC30. Now, interestingly, I don't think I've ever played through an amp with a single speaker in a cab that large, and it sounds great. And the amp had been around for, I think, a couple of years before Rowan actually built the cab. It's the last cab he built for me, so I think the trauma of this one, put him off forever. And we, try not to talk about it too much, painful memories, that sort of stuff. But, I'd used it through the AC30 speakers, the quad box, and I forget what else, but whatever was around, we'd play it through different speakers, and it always sounded great. But through this cab, it's different again, and quite a unique sort of sound, which is brilliant. And Rowan certainly did me a big favour by not giving me what I thought I wanted. So this is the amp on full. So that's the Green15. Now I've decided to give away the full set of profiles and captures for this amp. No charge, hence giving it away. And if you look on the Neural Cloud or the Kemper Rig Exchange under Greg D or Green15, you should find it. You'll find 18 captures for the Quad Cortex. So there are matched captures with and without the cab. So the ones without the cab say NC for no cab, and the idea, you can obviously match other cabs to it or impulse responses and stuff if you want to do that. But the main idea I had was that it was going to work like Kemper does, where you could have them running in parallel, and so the full mic'd cab amp goes to the front of house, and then the other one goes to your live cab for monitoring yourself. And so for the Kemper, you have 9 merged profiles. So once again, exactly the same thing, except on the Kemper you can merge it all, so it automatically will go out to the cab separately to the what goes to front of house. But exactly the same sounds. So yeah, enjoy those, download them, enjoy them. And this is just to give you a taste of the quality of stuff that I'm producing. And I figured it's much better to give you a full set than just a few random samples. You can use this because you've got everything from clean, through to the fully driven. So you can find the profile or capture that works for the sounds you're wanting, or multiple ones. That's how I use it. So I've got clean, and then dirtier and full gain. So yeah, enjoy those. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully, I'll get to see you again soon.